I'm Roger with Roger Outdoors channel. I've driven Washington State roads and back roads for well over 50 years, and over that time really acquired a lot of kind of favorite scenic places that I enjoy. And today I'd like to kind of share one of my trips, driving trips that I recommend that you take. And this time I'm going to explore kind of the southwest part of Washington State and just kind of give you what I think are the highlights, some of the things that you might want to stop and take a look at on your way down through that part of the state, and just make a long day's driving trip out of it. If you like really taking your time, make it a couple days. Take along a camera, pack yourself a picnic lunch, have a good time while you're out there. So the first thing I do, I head south on I-5, and I get down near Federal Way, and you'll see Wild Waves Theme Park. That's kind of one of the, during the summer it's just really rocking with kids using the water slides, and during the winter they have a pretty upscale Christmas light display that you might want to pay attention to. The next thing I come to is the city of Tacoma. Now this is really, years ago we used to, they had the Asarco smelter down there, and you could tell you were getting near Tacoma 5 or 10 miles away. I mean, that was kind of a smelly place to be, and Tacoma has just really transformed itself in terms of, it's a place now that I take visitors from out of state and say, hey, look at this. This is what I consider something really worthwhile and interesting to see. And I'll get off and I'll go past the Tacoma Dome and some of the the sculpture along their waterfront. You'll come to where Chihuly has some of his glass artwork over the top of the highway that you're driving on, and you kind of notice that, Jesus, everything around here. You've got a glass museum. The University of Washington built a branch campus. They've got visitor centers. They've got convention centers. I mean, the place is just, all of a sudden it's brand new down there, and people really want to own a condominium, live down there, especially in this waterfront area. Just and then if you go past the downtown section, then you start getting into where Tacoma has developed this walk along Commencement Bay that's is just heavily used by the people, just walking, jogging, rollerblading, just really taking advantage of this big park area along their waterfront there. I go down there sometimes and I'll fish off from Les Davis Pier. Sometimes I'll try squid fishing there or salmon fishing. Either is a reasonable place to fish there as you're heading towards Point Defiance. Keep on going right along the waterfront. Enjoy the quality restaurants that you're seeing, and then all of a sudden you'll come to where a Asarco plant used to be, and that area has just blossomed into a retail center and just high-rise condominiums. They've got a farmer's market, movie theaters, everything brand new, just really first class, underground wiring, the whole ball of wax. And just another mile further, you come to, the zoo, and drive around Point Defiance Park in that area. And again, just they've remodeled the Point Defiance Park and some of the exhibits they've got there. Just this is really a place that I take my visitors, and I recommend you do it also. Anyway, I finish that tour, get back on the freeway, head south, go just a little, near Olympia, you'll come to the Nisqually River. I kind of look at that and say, wow, this is one of the few success stories where the Nisqually tribe took and restored the habitat for salmon at the mouth of the Nisqually River, and and they finally brought back salmon numbers to that river that they used to have in the old days. One of the few rivers where modifying the habitat has really worked. I'll continue on south. I'll go to Olympia, and just past Olympia, I'll come to Highway 12, which heads out to the ocean beaches. And I'll take that, and I'll head over to Aberdeen, and when I get to Aberdeen, there's a little cutoff that you head south towards Westport. And I'll take that cut off. I think I'm on 101 at that point. And you'll drive by Ocean Spray Cranberry Plant, and as a reminder that Washington State is the biggest cranberry grower in the country. And Ocean Spray is kind of the biggest producer, and that's their main plant to do it in. So it's an interesting place to do. Anyway, I'll continue on south, heading towards there's a lot of razor clam beaches down in that area, so I'm heading down towards Westport. And if you haven't ever tried razor clamming, give it a try. I mean, that is really, minimal equipment, little shovel that you dig these things out of. They're just really unbelievably tasty. And when you go there, I mean, this is what you do if you're in Washington. You drive out on the beach, just your regular car that you're driving to work with every day, drive it out on the beach, and you'll see literally hundreds of cars, thousands of people lining the beach for miles. As far as you can see, they're flying kites, they're fishing, and they're digging razor clams. And it's really, when the tide is right, you have to look up the seasons, get a license, that sort of thing. But when they say it's a good time to dig, go out there and get yourself a bunch and really enjoy the day. Just having fun out there on the beach and watching them fly these kites. Later on in the year, just south of where you're digging the razor clams at Long Beach, they have a kite festival in August. Really take your camera for that. They're just fabulous, kites that you just won't believe that they could get something that large and that intricate off the ground, and they're just really worthwhile taking a look at. When you turn around and you start heading north, you've got a chance to pull off at Raymond on 101, and they've got a lot of metal sculpture along that they line their roadways with that are good artists that put, lots of these things that you're worth photographing, a lot of these things. And then you keep heading north towards the Olympic National Forest, and this area is it's a rainforest. There's just fabulous rivers in there that river guides fish like the Hoe and the Bogasheel and the for both salmon and rainbow or steelhead, and just great fishery there. Keep going north, you'll come to, you're almost to Neo Bay, and you'll see a little sign that says Tatoosh Point, and you can kind of get off on that trail and start walking along the trail. It'll take you to the most northwesterly part of the lower 48 states. There's kind of a marker out there at the end of the trail. Continue on to Neo Bay, see what the Native American, the tribal shop there has all kinds of history of their how they relocated there, and a lot of neat artwork, etc. Then you start heading east now, heading back towards the loop to take you home back towards Port Angeles. You'll pass like the Quinault Lodge, which is an interesting place to stay. They are one of the few lodges that kind of brag about the place that it's haunted. They have a couple of famous ghosts that they claim patrol the place from time to time. It's a Native American motel. and a nice lake as well. You'll get to, as you get near Port Angeles, you'll notice the visitor center, signs to the visitor center at the Olympic National Park. For the Olympic National Park. Take and head up that way. They've got a nice display. They used to have a lot of mountain goats up there, but the mountain goats didn't interact well with the people. They'd kind of butt them, looking after trying to get salt from people that were kind of using the trails as their rest stops. Anyway, they got relocated all the animals out of there, but and they've got a little history of that. And if you want, you can take at Port Angeles. There's it's a good fishing spot. They've got charter boats, etc. And also there's a ferry boat that will take you up to Vancouver Island. And it's right now, of course, it's with COVID, you can't take it, but when that opens up, that's a nice alternative to going across the border by Bellingham and going across the Tsawwassen Ferry. If you continue heading just kind of a little west of Port Angeles, you'll come to Sequim, which is as close as Sequim is to the rainforest. That gets just all kinds of several feet of rain a year. Sequim is one of the driest places in western Washington. The mountains kind of block the clouds and just cause it. They have less rainfall than Seattle, as an example. Continue on, on the way back, and you'll come to where you can take a cutoff. I think it's Highway 20 to go to Port Townsend. And Port Townsend has once a year they've got a great jazz festival you might want to take a look at. They've got a concert in a barn where they have classical music in a barn where you're sitting on hay bales, etc. We've been to it several times. It's very good. I mean, these are first-rate musicians that have played in famous bands or orchestras, rather, on the East Coast. And Port Townsend also, you can take a ferry up to Whidbey Island if you choose to go that direction. If not, we get back on and head towards the Hood Canal Bridge. Just before you get there, you have an opportunity to spend some of your nickels over at the Clearwater Casino if you're feeling lucky and want to pay for your trip, etc. But other than that, go across the bridge, and then you have the opportunity of either driving all around down to Tacoma and cutting across the Point Defiance Bridge. You have to pay a toll. I think it's like $5.50 if you go that way. Or you can take a ferry boat out of Bainbridge, and going that direction, you don't have to pay for extra passengers going back, etc. So we often do that because I just enjoy taking a ferry at the end of especially at the end of a driving trip. It's just, you kind of kick back and relax, kind of think about what you saw, kind of look at some of the pictures you took, etc. It's just fun. It's just a way of kicking back, and so you aren't real tired by the time you get home. So anyway, I hope you take me up on taking that trip. You should be able to do that trip in a long day's drive. Pack yourself a picnic lunch. Again, take your camera. Have a good time out there. If you happen to see me on taking one of the hikes or something like that, don't forget to wave.